Hi guys, welcome back to another one of my videos. So today I will be doing a very exciting video. I will be analyzing all of the Cold Visions album by Bladee, and I'm here with my twin brother. You want to introduce yourself?
My name is Peter. I'm also a fellow drainer.
We're both wearing Bladee merch.
Bladee fanboy. So
yeah. I got him into draining.
Okay, buddy. All right,
yeah,
let's go.
He doesn't like to admit it, but okay. So let's start off with the introduction. Okay, so the album came out April 23rd, which was
Tuesday.
It was a surprise album.
The album consisted of 30 tracks. Bladee brought back the collaboration with Filthy from Philadelphia, who also happened to produce Whole Lotta Red, Cardi's very successful. I believe it was the second studio album, and yeah, he collabed on pretty much all the tracks. Some tracks consisted of White Armor, Sherman, and Lucy from Rip Squad, and yeah, overall it just brought back his darker, evil style from working on Dying 1. He also brought back some of his rapping from Rip Bladee.
I think that it was a mix of working on Dying and The Fool. Mostly The Fool with the lyrics, and the sound was working on Dying, but on another level, like on steroids, basically.
He also used a lot of the current popular sound in the underground, the rage, tread. Well, he helped revolutionize tread, but he did use a lot of trap sounds from the underground. Some beats sounded like they could have belonged to Ken Carson, Osa Mason, Netspend.
Okay, but, enough of that.
Bladee does it best, so
yeah, obviously.
He's the OG father.
So, the basic framework of this video is that we're gonna go in order, all 30 songs, and I'm gonna try to bookmark each song in case you don't want to hear all of 30. But yeah, and then at the end we're gonna talk about our overall thoughts and what we think the album means.
Not many brain cells left, but I'm ready for.
Okay, so the first track of the album is Paranoia Intro, which was produced by Filthy, 100 Yard, and Break. It features hard-hitting 808s and trap drums, and pretty much a return to his old auto-tune style, which he ditched on Psychos. And yeah, you want to start off with the first lyrics?
Okay, so the first lyric is not many brain cells left, but I'm ready for. And this includes a sample from Thriller, which was also used in working on Dying. And he's in the rap game for years, and he also talks about his drug usage. However, this doesn't stop him from doing what he wants, and this is because he said but. So, and then he says, I play this game like chess, just wait for it. So Blade's every move is strategic, and he analyzes his opponent's move. He's ready for the next one, and he's always a step ahead. And then he decides how to act. And he's also saying, just wait for it. So now he's telling us that it's his turn to show his worth, which is by dropping this album.
And after, we can move on to the line, We in the Styx River, Cold Visions. Getting wet, Bladee recalls on his wet part, as previously mentioned in his past projects, such as Smart Water and Wet Water 2. This could mean that Bladee likes to try new things, aka getting wet, getting his toes wet. The Styx is a river that flows in the underworld in Greek mythology. Bladee is in the river as he's bringing back his evil style, hence the underworld.
And then Bladee says, lose every chance I get, kill every chance I get. So he's talking about his previous experiences. Bladee did not take the chances that he was offered seriously, and now he is reflecting on what he missed and his past actions and how they affected him today, and also how he can use these past actions to change his mentality on today's opportunities.
Exactly. Then we can move on to Axe in the Backpack. Bladee struggles with paranoia and likes to stay cautious. An axe in his backpack can act as symbolism, which refers to Blade's defense mechanism towards his evil thoughts. Also, paranoia is a common theme throughout many of Blade's songs.
Also, can we talk about the fact that Blade's name is Bladee, a literal blade and an axe? He has a weapon on him at all times, right?
He stays strapped. EU, they ban guns, so unlike here where everyone has guns, they have
Not good.
Shings. They have the knives. And
Yeah,
all right.
you can go.
I got so old, I got embarrassed to be even here, you know. Blade entered Unk status as he has hit his 30s on April 9th.
I'm sorry for his brain rot.
He feels, well,
language.
he does feel as if he's too old to be rapping in the underground scene, as he's nearly a decade older than some of these up-and-coming rappers. He could be suggesting that a new style is coming in his music, even mentioning that he wants to compose songs, which I'll link it in the description. And also, there's a quick little screenshot of Blade's story where he posted Chief Keef, and he said, "Thank you for the birthday wishes, thankful to be alive, love everyone who loved, farewell days of youth," as he ended his 20s.
Also, a lot of people think that this is Blade telling us that he's gonna quit music, but I really don't think that this is the case because of a lyric that will come up in another song. And also, Blade loves what he's doing. He's just sick of the industry, I believe.
Yep.
Next, he says, "I'm losing feeling here, you know, still I'm the only hero." This is another reference, and this time he's referencing the song Hero of My Story 3 South 3 on 333. Blade has been making rap music for a decade and he's losing interest in the genre. Still, he believes that no one else can do it like him, as he has influenced many in the underground and even mainstream scene. The chorus, which we'll put a screenshot of, is saying how Blade is paranoid about his partner's love, and he feels as if it's one-sided, and to suppress his thoughts, he smokes a lot of weed, which he talks about through the image of bloodshot eyes. Additionally, it can also be interpreted that Blade is feeling paranoia as an effect from the weed. And Blade cuts himself off from continuing to talk about the situation because he wants to get back to smoking in order to stop thinking about it. The intro acts as a great entry into the rest of the album, as the ending leaves us with a suspense created by the synths.
This leaves us with an exciting feeling that can be translated into the audience wanting more. It's also a sound that Blade stopped using for years, so it gets the listener excited by creating nostalgia.
I'm working on dying.
Alright, moving on to Wad Drainer, working on Dying Drainer. We can start off with the producers. This song was produced by Filthy and Jonah Abraham, who also helped produce a couple of the tracks on Whole Lotta Red. There's also a James Ferrero credit, who is very influential on DGSBE, but it's not clear on what he added to the production. But according to r/sadboys, it could be inferred that he added sound effects and sound design throughout, and by Blade bringing him on the album, it could be an allude to his gratification for one of his influences. The song name, like I mentioned earlier, is a direct reference to his first collab with Filthy, Working on Dying. In this track, Blade talks about his struggles with his old habits, fighting depression, anti-materialism, and his determination to keep doing the things he loves in life, such as art and music.
Okay, so verse 1 is "Can't seem to get right, can't seem," and this is just a quick peek of Blade's inner thoughts, which are negative. And then he says, "Must be nice, dirty ass East Pack, backpack, blood money in the trash bag, question mark." And trash is a common reference within Blade's songs, and also drinking, Trash Island, you know, everything, Trash Star. And blood money is money obtained at the cost of another person's life. And trash bag is discarding or throwing something away. By Blade throwing out this blood money, he is referring to himself as throwing out his dark and evil past. And I also want to note, in the song Trendy, he's basically killing his old self, which is something that he's referencing to this song again.
Kill a part of you, that's not true to the heart of you. Pull a joker card on you, I didn't mean to startle you.
Then, moving on, he mentions, "I bought 1,000 Smurfs on eBay. I was on shrooms, needless to say." The shrooms brought out his inner child, as he wants to purchase Smurfs, and eBay is a direct reference
Remember?
to the song "eBay on Glue."
The McDonald's Smurfs?
Yeah, it could also mean something else. I don't know. We just not might be smart enough, or I don't know, or it could just be as shallow as
We're
this.
not Blade,
so we don't know.
We're just thinking. Okay, and then "I'm the Rain King, can't stop the rain, I'm having traumatic flashbacks." And Blade is saying, "I'm the Rain King," in the full intro. His traumatic flashbacks could be from that era, so he is remembering his emotional and mental state when creating this album, which could be another reference. And rain symbolizes life, renewal, and spiritual connections, which again, Bladee talks about rain so much.
Moving on to I'm in the airport, fast track, trying everything, I'm a lab rat. He's always in the airport because he's always collabing with people from around the world. He has tours, you know, all that. He has the priority lane, so he just skips all the queues at security screening. You know, nothing too crazy. And then trying everything, he's just a druggie.
Yeah, trying all the drugs. And then says, "C'est la vie, go tell your mom that. No, I fell off, but this is the comeback." First of all, the reference "C'est la vie" is in the song "Innocent of All Things" in the album 333. And the second line is in the song Top Men, which is in Ice Dancer. And it's word for word. And then he says, "Ice Dancer, I'm living in Disneyland." And he references Disney on Ice. Wait, what is that?
Disney
in
on Ice.
Anything? Yeah, in the song Anything. So another reference.
Another reference to Ice Dancer.
Yeah.
His most loved mixtape. So much designer, got sick of that. So much designer, we've been in that. Put it in the trash, we've been in that. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, you're
Stepping
not
out
Bladee.
in Converse and Vans. Bladee has had enough of consumerism and thinks that it's unimportant. He refers to brands like Converse and Vans as they're relatively cheap, showing that there isn't a need for expensive brands anymore.
Bladee loves Karl Marx. And then he says, "I'm counting more stars and fingers." Bladee refers to being alone, counting stars in the sky, rather than being with a lot of people. And he says, "3 stars, feeling lingers." 3 stars is Bladee, Echo, and Thai Boy. And 333, which is Blade's album, and a common theme in drinking.
G-Shock on my wrist is, again, ditching consumerism, going for the inexpensive brands. SBE, We Cold Like Christmas, an allusion to the frozen city, Sweden, where Sad Boys are from. SBE, Sad Boys Entertainment. And then the chorus, "Sleep is the one time I'm happy." He's happy in his fantasy world, which is in his dreams, but even sometimes there's nightmares. His evil thoughts get to him. I feel like there's someone else there. Paranoia. I'm waiting for disaster or something else bad to happen. Paranoia.
And anxiety.
I'm in this beauty pageant and everyone's laughing. He feels as if he's judged. More paranoia. Ever since I got rich, everyone wants to know me. People aren't real, except his friends, his OG friends.
And then he says, "Montana, I feel like Tony." Tony, when he was in the club, he was sitting all fucked up just before the shootout. This is a reference to Tony Montana from Scarface. In the club scene, Tony is sitting there, drugged out and feeling alone, with no hope. However, he stands up for himself and perseveres through the shootout, just like Bladee talks about in the song.
Moving on to the second verse. Order 100 bottles, send them back.
So he doesn't drink alcohol?
Into madness, descend back. He has troubles with his dark thoughts. I came back from a heart attack. Did Bladee ever have a heart attack? We don't know.
No, I think he's saying metaphorically.
We're equal, let's pretend that. I know we're not. He wants to be valued as a regular human being, but he knows that his status is above others.
And this is such a common theme with Bladee songs, like, "You're just like me, I'm not special."
I paint better than Rembrandt, however you pronounce his name. Bladee
I'm
is an
selling
artist.
art. He says I'm selling art.
He needed a name that rhymed with that.
I drain better than drain. Bladee cuts himself off because he knows that there is no one he can compare himself to. They starstruck off this news flash. People find it hard to believe that Bladee could drop a banger like... Okay, you say it because you wrote it.
They starstruck off this news flash. People find it hard to believe that Bladee could drop an album like this that could be so good and so replayable. Because they think that Bladee is some trash, emo, wimp. But no, he's actually drained father, Swedish king, Pookie.
He's a philosopher, okay? Then Bladee says, "Depression clinging to my back, sharp-ass claws all on its hands. I'm infected from its scratch. I feel sick and I feel sad. Self-hate frustrated on my ass. They won't let up on me, man. Not even a moment. I need some atonement." Bladee struggles with depression and personifies it as an animal with sharp claws, clinging on his back. And the reason this animal is on his back is because it is harder to reach and kill it, showing that depression is hard for Bladee to let go and actually fight it off. And it's like an infection that continues to spread. And he says not even a moment. He doesn't even have a chance to breathe because his depression will always creep in, just how it did in that line, since it was in parentheses. And atonement can refer to the reconciliation of God and humankind through Jesus Christ, meaning the Blade is turning to God for help. And this is true because of an interview that he did, which we'll include.
Moving on to the outro. Thought it was over, I'm back. Thought I would quit, I can't. In an interview with Fader, he states, "When I get tired of something, I just want to move on to the next part of the saga." Bladee likes to evolve, especially in the sound, with most of his projects sounding different from each other. This leads to people thinking that he wouldn't return to his old styles, including The Fool, but he did on this album. Even though Bladee might feel burnt out from the music he makes, he pours out all of his emotion, which is draining, haha. He knows that music is his passion and he cannot stop. And he was also in a dark place and thought it was over. What else am I supposed to do when I don't even want to be close to you? Don't want to be next to you. Working on dying too. Thought I was lying, it's true. I'm stuck in this glue. I'm the one that's sick, but bless you. You get X'd out, you're excused.
Okay, let me do the references. Glue, first of all. Glue album. I'm the one that's sick, but bless you. The song Sick from Ever Since. X'd Out, another song from Ever Since. Also, he references his old music from Working on Dying, and this is Working on Dying too. He also is telling us that he's stuck in a vicious cycle of depression and making music, and this depression sort of fuels his music because of the lyrics that he pours into his music. Lastly, the only time Bladee can rest is when he's sleeping, so when he doesn't have a chance to think.
Wake up, filthy.
So next song is Young Sherman.
We can see production credits from Filthy, Young Sherman, and last year, if that's how you pronounce his name. But you want to start off with the verse?
So the verse is, "Every night I get that cold vision," and cold vision is obviously the major theme in this album. Bladee could be referring to him getting reoccurring nightmares. And then he says, "It's like when you think your phone's missing, it's like falling but there's no limit, it's like a heart with a hole in it." Bladee is listing examples for the audience to comprehend what he is going through in his nightmares. He wants us to get a glimpse of what he feels eternally. Also, I saw somewhere that the feeling that someone gets when they lose their phone is like a heart attack. Like, it's the same feeling.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I saw it somewhere. I don't know if it's true, but... And then he says, "In the sewer, there's some gold in it. One man's trash is another man's treasure." Bladee is also a big fan of sewers. Another reference to decay. This could also mean that Bladee finds peace where no one typically goes to, so he likes to be isolated. And then he goes on to say, "They counted me out for no reason." Blade's music tends to get a lot of criticism, often not giving him the credit he deserves. He is telling us that he is often misunderstood and left out, maybe within the industry he is in.
Next he says, "We got high during the Prohibition. Even when weed was illegal, Bladee didn't care about the laws. So why would he care about the backlash and exclusion from the industry?"
And then he says, "I'm in Miami doing Tai Chi." Tai Chi is a Chinese practice known for its health benefits, and Miami is a place where Bladee had experienced a lot of trauma relating to Young Lean and the Miami warlord era. It could mean that Bladee is doing self-care and he's taking steps to find healing. "I'm in a forest with a high priest," relating to Blade's relationship with God and religion. Throughout Blade's discography, he talks about spirituality in an unconventional way, but ultimately one that is defined by himself and his own relationship with God. "I'm an off-white Nike like a hype beast," going back to his 2016 era. "My whole life is like a live stream." He feels overly seen, especially because of his crazy fans. Like, we have to admit, his fans are not okay. Maybe he feels trapped that he cannot hide. And then he says, "Put Young Lean inside a nice tea." This could mean the drug lean, and Lean's Arizona iced tea aesthetic. And they're going back to their roots, which is drugs and their old lifestyle. "Put a window on my life, so much that I took out of it," referring to Bladee practicing self-reflection. "Keep your pedestal in price, I want to get in a fight." Bladee acknowledges his talents and knows that he can become mainstream famous, but does not see the allure in having so much fame. He wants to keep fighting for his achievements because they have a more satisfying outcome for him.
Lastly, before we move on to the chorus, he says, I can't work out what's your vibe, but I do feel I'm above it. His hard work makes him feel above any superficial fame.
And the quick note is that the chorus is sung really fast. This could portray his racing mind.
What if I never make it back from this dumb panic attack? This could reflect to his anxiety and also alludes to the cold vision themes.
And then he says GTB sliding in a Hellcat, bumping from first to last. And From First to Last is a post-hardcore band formed in Tampa, Florida in November 1999, which featured Skrillex as a lead vocalist. When I die, they're gonna make a park bench saying this where he sat. Bladee is saying that he's going to die as a noteworthy and important figure. People are going to honor him by naming a park bench after him. And then me and young Sherman at the gym working out and getting tanned.
GTL, Gym Tan Laundry, which is an official Jersey Shore quote that could also be referring to the Rip Squad Aesthetic Pack, which is an album from Rip Squad. Rip has a heart defect and he's from Perth, Australia. Ziz was also Australian and died from a congenital heart defect of his own. Additionally, he was very chronically online. Oh my god, this bug. Like Rip Squad, and it's kind of a symbol of an era of culture and the internet that Rip Squad often pays homage to.
Then he says, I will never see you again, and I hope you understand. I'm crashing down some like a wave over castles made of sand. So this is an analogy. He is saying how he is self-destructive and he kind of sabotages himself, just like how kids build a sandcastle and then step on it and take it down immediately.
Yep. Moving on to Flatline, the song was produced by Wosum, who he has many collabs with DG members, as well as Young Lean. Also produced by Young Sherman and James Ferraro once again. No filthy production on this one, so you shouldn't expect any like hard-hitting 808s. It's more calm, original DG sound. But yeah, moving on to the lyrics.
So bizarre, there's something worse that I deserve. It's all for real. Bladee references dreams a lot and how he uses daydreaming to escape reality. But now reality has faced him and he can no longer keep running away. It's all for real now. And he basically woke up from his dream. And he says, dissolve for real, acid and bleach. Bladee might be insinuating dissolving his past self. Acid and bleach are also both references in past drinking songs. Just close your eyes, be close to me. Bladee doesn't want this person to see this side of himself, and he would rather keep them ignorant. Never die, I never want to see you cry, I'd rather die. I flatline, yeah. Bladee wants to protect this person and would rather die than see them hurt. And he knows that he could potentially hurt this person. The monitor reads a flat line. Bladee recognizes that his negativity is affecting people around him, and this makes him feel bad, and from feeling bad he continues this vicious cycle. Only death and getting reborn so he can have a fresh start is the solution, hence the flat line. And him saying goodbye. He is also saying till next time, hinting at wanting to start over.
It's sad but true. I find a way to sabotage everything between me and you. It's sad but true. It's sad but true. Whoa. Blade's emotions get in the way of his relationship. Additionally, he says, I live my life disgusting. Bladee is aware of his unhealthy habits and the cycle he falls into. He says, I can't keep running, meaning that he is sick of his actions and willing to initiate a change.
Next, he says, I live my life disgusting. I choose the way of suffering. Under the weight I'm crushing. He is referring to drug abuse, but he acknowledges his feelings of guilt, and he also thinks that he deserves this suffering, so he's punishing himself for his actions. And in a way, it's funny. Hate that today is sunny, hate that the next is coming, I don't want you to see me, I don't want us to be me. Bladee believes that he doesn't deserve to experience sunshine because he is feeling guilt. He doesn't want this person to see him at his lowest point.
And dark feelings, dark feelings, dark feelings. Bad feelings, cold vision, bad feelings. So distant, loneliest, so distant. Bladee lives in a constant state of winter, gloomy, cold, and bleak. He feels isolated due to the state he is in mentally. Moving on to 1 second. This track was produced by Filthy Warren Hunter, and Rock. This song also has a music video, which is, I believe there's only like 3 songs off the album. Paranoia intro, 1 second, and Other Side with Black Cray. The song hits very hard. You want to start off with lyrics?
Okay, 1 second, I get into my car. 2 seconds, I pull in the dark. 3 seconds, I feel the rush. 4 seconds for it to start. 5 seconds, I'm in my bag. In my bag, we take off. In my bag, in my make the call. In the airport, 1 second. On the flight, the next second. Got a call, just wait a second. Touch the bag, you're overstepping. 30 dreams, it's fashion week. The front row seats, less than a week. So he is basically talking about taking drugs and waiting for the seconds to pass by so they can kick in. And they're also hustling, doing deals, fashion week, runways, all that. They got invited.
They are busy.
And we saw the photos of Echo and Bladee at Acne Studios. They looked so good.
1 second, only got 1 second. Now I'm in my bag, standing on the couch reckless. 1 second of the year, no section. Back of the club with the mean girls stepping. 1 second, only got 1 second. I'm not here to talk. Me and Bladee walk. They leave breathless. So obviously, mean girl reference to 333. And Bladee and Young Lean are talking about their success and how they only have 1 second left to spare because they're working so hard. You know you're working hard when it feels like there isn't enough time in a day.
Movie.
Okay, lastly, it's raining hard, so hard I can't even see at all. I'm fallen, I'm alone, I'm a lonely star, I'm following my only dog, near car, GTG, we laying down the law, we're praying to a red cross, I'm in my bag 1 second, then I'm back 1 second, then I'm back in the darkness. So, GTB, Gravity Boys reference. Rain is also a prevalent theme in Bladee songs, which means life and renewal. Red Cross, which is another song from this album. The last 2 lines is Bladee referring to a cycle, looking back at the rain reference, and he could be talking about life cycle and
Rejuvenation.
And
that is 1 second.
Wake up, filthy.
So the next song is Sad Meal, which was produced by Filthy, 100 Yard, and Break. And what I saw online is that McDonald's is planning to add a customizable Happy Meal, and you can swap out the smile with a frown.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so feelings that I can't explain in an endless dark terrain, through a tunnel under rain, there's a way that's not in vain, through the sink and down the drain. So he is saying that Bladee is in an endless cycle of despair, and the only way out is through rebirth, and since that is what rain represents, renewal, down the drain means that it's pointless and feels the need to reinvent himself. Also, Julia Fox's new book, Down the Drain, is so good. I recommend you read it.
Purple Hat and Purple Cane doing Magic David Blaine, changing faces, changing name, through the sadness and the pain, hit the gas, accelerate. Bladee feels the need to change himself, depending on who he is with. He hides his pain and sadness. Hitting the gas could refer to escaping his misery as fast as he can. Purple Hat and Purple Cane, that could be like, in Batman, the penguin guy, I think he's purple. Or it could be the OG Willy Wonka, I don't know.
Okay, and then get the journalist to sign an NDA about our process. Loss and gain, and I've gained a lot of losses, like a hill covered in crosses. Tommy Hilfiger, the boxes look cost on us, shit don't cost us. Hashtag ad, shouts out the sponsors, brand new face, shout out to my doctor, fame has turned us into monsters. Basically bringing up the concept of loss and gain, which is a common theme in DG and a reference to the song 1-1, meaning that you can obtain something from both loss and gain, whether it is a lesson from loss or something new from gain. And fame has blinded Bladee, and he acknowledges his materialism that comes with fame and sponsorships. Brand New Face is a reference to the song Anything, where he says,
Hey, pippies on my face, pretty.
and the song Plastic Surgery. Bladee has made it clear that he doesn't want to be super famous, and with him describing this corruption, he is trying to let us understand why.
And also, something to point out where he says Tommy Hilfiger, the boxers, Lacoste on us, and then he says hashtag ad, shout out to the sponsors. He's basically wearing clothes where the logo is everywhere, so he's basically a walking ad, giving free publicity to these companies because he's wearing their logo on him.
We're talking about paid ads. Then he says, I went broke from doing concerts. Out of 10, What is the chances? Can I still wear my Balenci? SG standing on the Lenci. Sturdy world, nothing is fancy.
What's
Leave you
Lenci?
stranded out and canceled. So usually artists make profits through concerts, and with Bladee saying the opposite, he's trying to tell us that he isn't doing this for money. The second line is, with his current fame, will the public still allow Bladee to dress up in his personal style? And Dirty World, he is telling us that the world is corrupted, and even if something seems fancy on the outside, the inside is rotten. And this is a little unrelated, but I wanted to bring up this movie that I saw called Incredible But True, which is about a couple moving into a house and finding out that there is a secret portal that makes them younger when walking through it. The wife becomes obsessed with going through the portal to become younger each day. One day, she takes an apple through the portal, and when she comes back again, she leaves it on her countertop.
I wanna
The
see
apple,
that movie.
it's really good. The apple looks completely fine for a couple of days, but soon the couple find out that it was infested with ants on the inside. In the end, the wife is old in age, but she looks like a 20-year-old. But on the inside, she is infested with ants.
What?
Yeah.
That's who's it by? David Lynch?
No, it's a French director. And then he says, have you signed up for a bad deal at McDonald's? Get the sad meal. Can't you see I face a challenge? Zilly shoes, these not New Balance. D&Gs don't get saddened. I thought it said silly shoes.
Me too.
Okay, he's saying signing up for a bad deal, selling yourself for fame. Third line is Bladee doesn't take shortcuts to reach achievements, but this comes with a lot of challenges. Zilly shoes have no logos but are luxury shoes. Contrary to his previous self and many other celebrities, Bladee purchases luxury items without logos because he isn't doing it to show off and also shallowness. DG is...
But he wears Lacoste boxers. Or Calvin Klein boxers.
DG is another reference, and then he says, out of you all, I'm the baddest. I'm addicted to my status. Let me tell you what the deal is. Honestly, I have no feelings. Life don't hit, so this is the remix. Everyone knows I'm the realest. Bladee is not like other celebrities who are shallow and have to portray their status through designer clothes and logos. He's addicted to his status. Bladee is still a celebrity and cares about how he is perceived. And then the last three lines, Bladee is keeping it real by rapping about how he truly feels, even if that means talking about his depression and feeling so numb to the point of not having any feelings.
Yep.
He doesn't do it out of pity, but rather to express his true self by being real and transparent.
And then every day is just another morning. Every day is the same. I wake up with my blinds down, golden light of slipping away. Heavy rain falling forever on an everlasting flame. Fame or not, Bladee feels the same and doesn't feel long-term excitement in his life. In the moment, he may be happy or excited, but he does not feel sustained through the long run. He's shutting out the outside and wants to be with himself, avoiding reality. This is a common theme throughout his discography, as he is a loner. As in Who Goes There, he mentions that. Rain is also mentioned, as Bladee can't sleep since he feels unfulfilled and wants to work on himself. His inner thoughts keep him up at night. Everlasting Flame is a reference to glue, could mean his non-stop
rumination. And Everlasting Flames is my favorite song ever from Bladee. I love it so much. But Peter doesn't think it's that good.
It's alright.
Okay, heavy two-headed axe in a dirty duffel bag. Heavy hammers in the right hand, they can turn castles into sand. In the rain world, money system, seeing how to scam the scam. On the stage, going crazy, we're the new ex-Japan. Axe is, he wants to kill probably a part of him to make room for reinvention.
Trendy
and
reference.
Again, I talked about how it reminds me of the song Trendy, where he says, kill a part of you that's not true to the heart of you.
Little joke card in you.
I didn't mean to startle you. Okay, turn castles into sand means take things apart. He wants to do that to himself so he can get reborn. And this was, again, a theme to a previous song. I forgot which one. Rain World, DG reference. Money System is a Safe House reference from the album Glue. The last two lines are basically saying that DG has become successful by staying true to themselves. Lastly, he says, I can't lose, only win. I'm so used to doing bad. Please stop talking like you know me, bro. Somebody get your mans. Stop that talking like you know me. All that shit that I had been through, man, all I could say was damn. This is a Chief Keef reference, which Bladee posted on his story for his 30th birthday. He doesn't want to make surface level connections with people, only ones that are meaningful and will serve him in a way. And lastly, this is a Knightsbridge reference where he says, "You think you know me? Are you a psychic?" And Knightsbridge is in Working on Dying.
And that is it. Okay, moving on to fun fact. This was produced by Filthy, once again, Glacier, and James Ferraro. We could start off with a lot changed since we changed the game. Look how far we came. Chainsaw split the whole terrain, the whole world, the game. Rainfall from a lonely star on a sunny day. Drain star and we standing tall over what we made. The first line talks about people having taken inspo from DGSBE. They were essentially the pioneers that changed the wave, changed the game. Every move you make in life will affect your future, just like a game. And Rain World, once again, is being referenced. Even when the outside seems sunny, Blade still wants the side to be renewed. And they are admiring their achievements by standing tall over what they made.
And then he says, "Outsmart the evil ways, you still huffing paint. Still smart enough to make my way out the hole like Bane. Cold-hearted, I killed myself time and time again. Full speed, make the city bleed, smoking dirty weed. I'm overgoing Fashion Week, walking in the Supreme." Blade and Young Lean are done harming themselves to obtain some fame within the music industry, which is from the line, "Huffing paint to get high. Make my way out the hole like Bane," referencing Batman and how Bane eventually escaped prison. Blade is saying how he has escaped the evils of the industry and has made it out by being himself. He is evolving and is saying how he changes himself over time, and even though Blade is talking about self-improvement, he sometimes enjoys doing drugs. This may be due to indulging in nostalgia since he did it a lot in his early years. He has found the balance between indulging in drugs and success, since he is being invited in fashion shows.
And then moving on, "Man, please give me space to breathe. Haven't slept in weeks. Cold visions wash over me. I will make you flee. Chase Bank out in Delaware. I don't really care. I'm with Lean buying the Gucci store. It's like breathing air. Man, I'm twisted. We spin around like the fun fair. Fun fact that you're living in despair." The first line, he is recognizing his fame and the fact that he has a lot of fans. Blade and Lean have a lot of money due to their success, and living in despair, even though he recognizes that he is successful and has a lot of money, he feels that it does not fulfill him enough and something is missing inside of it. Also, I forgot to add, in an old Instagram post by Blade, in this caption, he used that line, "The Lean buying the Gucci store like his breathing air. It's nothing and it means nothing." So he just reused that line.
Then he says, "I'm with Blade like I'm Blade running with 100 racks. It's the return of the Batman and Bane in his mask. Still have the opiates itching like it got a rash. All these boys, they've been stealing swag. Put them in the trash. I don't care cause I love it. Eat out of our hands. We done changed up the whole game. Put it in a chokehold. I know you wanna be us, but we are just some weirdos." Again, he is referring to another movie, this time Blade Runner. Second line is a reference to their song Gotham City. Young Lean is saying how people have been copying them, but they couldn't care less. They have changed the music scene and have been highly influential.
Now, lastly, two old heroes stuck up in this folklore. I wrote so many hits, I should have my own barcode. Yuppie on the yacht, hair gel on my polo. Lean doer, blader, you know this is no joke. 20 on the guest list, but I don't know those. Feel like we came up too fast, find a new plan, raise the flag. Glorious in heaven, go ahead, raise the glass, sad boys in D9, this for the fam. No matter how successful they will be, they will always be true to themselves and find a new way to be influential and innovative with their music. And raise the flag, reference the crest, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wake up.
Moving on to Only God Is Made Perfect. This song was produced by Filthy, once again, AM, Warpster, and Roxy. Tell me a funny story. All that other shit is so boring. All that serious bore me in Emporio Armani. Blade is goofy, as mentioned in the song I'm Goofy, and doesn't take life too seriously.
And then he says, "Stepping out like a warrior, this shit can go so horrible." Could be a reference to Klay Thompson shooting a 0 out of 10 against the Kings during the 2024 NBA Play-In Tournament against the Sacramento Kings, causing the Warriors to lose. I have no idea what this means.
Klay Thompson missed every shot he took, so he's basically a bum. He's going to China. Credit goes out to Genius.
Okay.
Whoever annotated this, I'm stealing your shit. Shout out, bro.
He references rain again when he says, These horrors I endure, man, this rain is on me pouring. White Havanas and some shorts, man, I'm over Prada Sport. He's over the expensive brands and the logos, leaving materialism in the past.
Man, you're watching YouTube Shorts. Blade, this is Skibbity Toilet.
I used to be intellectual, so in Exeter, 333, The Fool, The Crest, and Spider, they were some of his most intellectual and thought-provoking albums. So now he just wants to take it a step back and chill. When you think that you're high, then you're on the wrong flight. He loves smoking weed. And then I'm Mr. Worldwide. He is saying that he travels a lot. Girl, you're beautiful, but only God is made perfect. He only looks up to God.
Forgot to mention that Mr. Worldwide is a Pitbull reference.
Oh yeah. Drop top coupe, it is made purple. Shirt is soap 08, it's purple. And he is either talking about lean or he loves the color purple, maybe both. He is also referencing his clothing brand that he made with Thai Boy Digital. SG Drain Follow Code, keep it silent in the circle. He is saying that he loves his brothers and whatever happens between them stays between them. I'm Messiah in the sermon. He compares himself to Jesus, coming down clean like a virgin, reference to his song Virgin, which is a really old song. All these clowns, man, I truly am the Joker. He is referencing Gotham City. He's the real villain. He also doesn't take life too seriously, as he mentioned earlier. Also, in this song Gotham City, he says, "You're a Joker, I'm the Joker." He's saying that he is the real deal.
He's the OG Goofy.
In a field that's filled with flowers, he is talking about flowers that bloom and wither, loss and gain. Another loss and gain reference, which is again a common theme. And this diesel very sour. Weed.
Another weed reference.
Lastly, he says, "I'll come falling off the tower." He is likely referencing the Tower Tarot card. Pulling this from
Genius as well.
Oh, okay. Pulling the tower represents sudden, drastic change, as well as misery, ruin, deception, and adversity, whether the card is reversed or not. So thank you, Genius, for that.
This could also mean that he's predicting his fall off, because he has mentioned in his past songs, I know I'm falling off, but this is a comeback. So he is scared of falling off, but I mean, he eventually sees himself falling off in the future, so he'll come falling off the tower.
But it's like a cycle, so he's falling off and then he's coming back, so it's never
He's
ending.
also paranoid, and he also has a lot of negative thoughts, so that's why he thinks negatively like that.
Wake up.
Moving on to Don't Wanna Hang Out, this song was produced by Filthy and AM, and Blade uses a more mumble flow in the song, suggesting that he's not truly confident in what he's saying. That could be a stretch. But it could also mean he's wearing his black grills.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, DJ Ken, All For Nothing. DJ Ken, AON, All For Nothing. Produces for Chief Keef and Drain Gang. This Dunya I'm Stuck In, which is an Islamic concept that refers to the life of this world from the moment we are born until the moment we die. And he's stuck in this world that he is in. Cops Come, I Saw Nothing. He's not a snitch. Trash Star, this shit is funny. He's goofy. He doesn't take life seriously, once again.
Okay, and then they're all gonna love me when I die. Blade thinks that people will start appreciating his art once he dies, and this has happened to a lot of artists. Could be referencing that. This drinking high school I enrolled. Inspiration comes. The Fool reference, where he says Drain High School football tryouts. Low-key, you're better off being broke. Having success is not that dope. Being in LA off that coke, surrounded by people I don't even know. Fake ass love, that shit played out. Don't care about your status, that shit played out. I don't care if you're rich, I don't want to hang out. Blade is talking about how empty success feels, as he is surrounded by people who sell their soul and identity for being rich and for getting fame. He's better off being broke and having real connections with people. And then he says that if you're not GTB, I don't want to hang out. If you're not SG, I don't want to hang out. If you're not Drain Gang, I don't want to hang out. Man, long story short, I don't want to hang out. So he only wants to hang out with friends and family and people who actually understand him. Blinds down in my house, I don't want to hang out. Trash bags on the window, I don't want to hang out. Doors locked on the safe, I don't want to hang out. And he likes to be alone, basically.
And trash bags on the window, that could be a reference to Frosty the Snowman. Bags on the window, but I don't think Nintendo.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, And that was a quick song. Basically, he prefers the solitude, and
He likes being in the sewer.
he likes hanging out with people that he trusts.
Yeah.
Moving on to I Don't Like People. This song was produced by Filthy, Rock, Mechatalk, and Runaway. We can start off by the line, I'm drunk on NyQuil, wanting to kill. NyQuil contains DXM, which can get you high. Even if it's God will, I just can't chill. I try to be normal, I'm too ill. It hurts to stay in my skin, real spill. Blade is mentally ill. Two crosses both bleed from the world's greed. There are two crosses in life of every true Christian. The cross on which Jesus suffered and died, and the cross on which we must suffer and die to self. Receiving Jesus is free. We need only to accept this free gift of eternal life. Blade is saying that people prioritize their love for money rather than Jesus, his world's greed. Read the creed of this weed, please excuse me. Could be an Office reference because of Creed, or he just accepts weed as a part of his life.
And then he says, man, fuck being depressed, asbestos. He compares depression to asbestos, which is a lethal mineral, and also he's done with being depressed, so he wants to kill himself. Not literally, he wants to kill this part of him and reinvent himself.
And the chorus is basically just him saying that he doesn't like people, and this could come across off of his insecurities, where he feels depressed and that he doesn't really like his true self, so naturally he doesn't want people to find out his insecurities.
Or he feels that he is different from other people and he feels like they don't understand him.
Yeah.
Which is what he was talking about in I don't wanna hang out. He only wants to hang out with his friends because they're the ones who truly get him.
Cell phone rings. They want in. We can't all win. People try to ride on Blade's success. Give everything to my everything. He loves his beloved.
And then he says, red light moments, we going, still going, reference to working on dying. And even with all the hits they have taken, they're still going and continue putting out new music.
Fast forward. Who are they? I don't know them. Wasted potential by underground rappers. Again, some can blow up fast, but there's no long-term success. Sit on the throne and it's frozen. King of the frozen city, where he's from. And he refers to his lack of emotion and cold demeanor.
And then Lean's part is, I don't like people, but people seem to like me. Lean is loved by the rap community, and as he has heavily inspired many of the biggest artists today. He says, approach me with respect. If you talk to me nicely, which is a be nice to me reference.
Yep.
Coke up in my socks, 10 years, still can't care enough. Reference to the song King Cobra, which has Thai Boy Digital in it. We call all the shots, called you bluff, you wanted way too much. This is presumably another shot at year 001, which is Blade and Lean's label, where they called year 001's bluff when requesting a higher percentage cut of their releases. This has led both Blade and Lean to keep their more recent releases under their own labels, Trash Island and
World Affairs by Young Lean.
He says, don't care what you got, put this weight to our names like we're jocks. He wants his respect.
Go light on the ice, heavy crown, torch held up high. He's considered as Frozen City royalty. He's the king of Sweden. I'm gonna make you hurt, Blade will make you bleed. Hurt and will make you bleed references. Green opiate leaves in my cup. Now man, that's fucked up. So this could be a reference to kratom, which is a drug commonly consumed in Thailand, and we have a picture of Young Lean holding a bottle with kratom. And yeah, in an interview he mentioned that he was drinking kratom with codeine in water bottles every day. Okay, moving on to End of the Road Boys, my personal favorite, produced by Filthy, 100 Yard, Gabriel Schumann, and James Ferraro. The intro samples a very famous scream from a Roblox YouTube video. We're the End of the Road Boys. You know we make a lot of noise. This could be a Boyz II Men reference, as it's one of their songs, End of the Road. You know this shit go round and round and round like a Ferris wheel. What goes comes around could be the expression that they're referring to, meaning that if you treat others poorly, you'll get treated poorly as well. The golden rule. Blade is drawing parallels between the The circular anxious thought loops he has with the principles of drain, that energy isn't destroyed but instead lost and gained.
And also Echo reference energy is eternal from the song CC. And you know what goes around comes around like a carousel. Bladee is talking about how his thoughts, like many things in life, go around in circles. He compares a Ferris wheel for this comparison for many reasons. He is setting up for the metaphor of his life as a circus, with him as the clown, or he compares himself to the Joker as well. A Ferris wheel is also an object that goes up against gravity before coming back down. And then when the shield goes up, man, it's never coming down. Shield gang, and he's protecting his crew. Basically, he's saying that he always has his members back. I don't mind playing the clown, man, they hate when I'm around. Another Joker reference. I describe what I see, I'm a visionary. He's basically manifesting and using manifestation. Desiree, I walk with destiny. On the song Desiree on The Fool, Bladee speaks on destiny, wanting it to be on his side and recognizing its constant role in his life. He's in the song, he says, "Destiny, look my way, I pray, say my name. I'm coming down clean, Saint Michael." In Revelation 12, in the New Testament, the Archangel Saint Michael casts Satan out of heaven. Bladee could be saying that the come down off drugs is like being cast down from heaven by Saint Michael. If I see demons in my life, I kill, kill, kill. Reference to the Fool intro. This could also be a reference to the aforementioned Archangel Michael who battles with Satan in the Book of Revolution.
Shout out genius, I don't remember. I had a dream about an emerald. I woke up where the ice at. And emeralds represent renewal and peace, and Bladee woke up and the ice melted, meaning that he was not at peace and not in his hometown. Man, to get to where we're at, you gotta read between the lines. Pretty self-explanatory. You gotta find the hidden meaning. It gets evil on this road, you gotta keep on being kind. Be nice to everyone, because you never know, because you never want to end up on anyone's bad side. And one thing about Bladee, in faith I'm blind. One thing about love I'm blind. A reference to Trendy. Blind in faith and love, I'm blind. Reality surf, might break my mind, baby don't waste my time. Reality surf reference. And don't look at me for answers, I don't know anything. He's the Fool.
And 9 comes and takes everything is a reference to loss and gain. He's saying that death will come and take everything away from him. Also, the 9 stands for the G in DG. So yeah, in the outro he says, "Man, I'm forever in a dream world." He's dreaming in a dream, which is a reference to amygdala, and he's stuck in his dream world. Mirrors everywhere, referring to Mirrorheim, which is the opener to Exeter. And then End of the Road Boys is a new beginning, full cycle, again, loss and gain. Also, Bladee tweeted in 2018, "End of the Road Boys, this is where I say goodbye, but you know that an ending is also a beginning, so that this is dawn, let my night be your dawn."
Somebody call the ambulance, man.
Moving on to DOA, or Dead on Arrival. This is produced by Skrillex, someone who has collabed with DGSBE recently, a good amount of times actually, and Lucy off of Rip Squad. And the intro features Thai Boy on a phone call. He's basically saying somebody called the ambulance, someone died. I'm just trying to bring it back in one piece.
Also, I just want to say that in Working on Dying album, Bladee included many Thai Boy features where he was on the phone call because he got deported from Sweden, so this might be a parallel to that. Okay, and then Stuck in the Night and I Can't Seem to Get Out, I Can't. He is telling us that he is stuck in an evil, depressing place. And then he says, "Dark cloud around my head, I can't get my head around, I can't." He is stuck in his evil thoughts. Can't win, I can't win the fight. Can't win, I can't win in life. Can't win this game, I just die. Again, his pessimistic thoughts. Freddy Krueger, chase your dreams, don't give up on it. Chase your dreams even if there are monsters trying to take you down.
Freddy Krueger is a monster that kills children in their dreams, if you didn't know that.
And then D9 Trust Funded Ice Carrots Bugs Bunny. He is talking about carrots, the ones that you eat, and also the diamonds, saying that he has a lot of money.
Double entendre.
We the only pros, how could you not know, without any flaws, never take a loss in regards to his music. He is winning. Please Just Tell Me What You Want, Tell Me What You Want is a reference to the song Baby from The Fool.
Yeah,
And
that's-
this is basically it for the song. It's pretty short.
Next song is Don't Do Drugs, produced by Lucy from Rip Squad, and it features the classic Whatever producer tag,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Okay,
You wanna
so
analyze?
starting off with a verse, the easiest route is the one that I choose. So basically taking the easy way out through drug abuse or drug usage, because it feels like the only one working, winter in my mind. So drugs help clear a person's mind and distract them from what they're going through and their struggles.
And he feels as if drugs are the only way out, because it's the only one that's working in a short span.
Yeah.
Rather than in the long run.
This isn't the truth, and I know, yet I choose the way that makes me lose, and that hurts me the most. I told my bro you gotta stop, and he told me, but for what? Man, I don't know. Having issues with the drugs, man, it really isn't fun. Bladee is talking about his struggles with drugs and how, although it seems positive in the short run, the negative effects of the long run aren't worth it. Also, he is advising his friend to not use drugs. He acknowledges that it's bad, but then when his friend asks him why he has to stop, he doesn't know, because to him it alleviates some of his pain. And then he says might as well do it anyway, so he's talking about relapsing, because only you can break the chains, and even if it feels so hopeless, it's never too late or over. There's always a way from nowhere. Bladee is telling us that it's up to yourself to break the habit of addiction. It's never too late to quit. In this song, he brings a positive message to the listener, even though he's talking negatively about himself. And only up, we can't go lower. Only up now, can't get lower. Love, let's go. I'm having cold visions. So once you hit rock bottom, there's only one way up. He's telling us that he's at his lowest, but now he sees hope in going up, and at least it can't get worse than how it is right now.
Yep. And this also might be a stretch, but shout out Genius, whoever annotated this. But the track was thrown roughly in the middle at being track 14, and it symbolizes how an intervention could be normally set up to catch the user by surprise by people they love in order to best get their message across that sobriety is truly obtainable and will lead to a significant, more fulfilling life.
That's
So yeah,
interesting, yeah.
whoever thought of that, you're a genius. Genius, haha. Yep, and that's it.
I'm having cold visions.
Okay, so the next song is Lowe's Partly.
Produced by Lucy. So the intro starts off with Burn Down the Disco, I'm having cold vision, hang the fucking DJ. This could be a reference to the Smiths, where they mention in the song Paris, Burn Down the Disco, hang the blessed DJ. But Bladee says fucking DJ instead of blessed.
Okay, and then this version that you see, man, it's only partly me. Bladee doesn't show his full self on the internet, obviously. Do you know what you are to me? You are nothing, unfortunately. Bladee often mentions how he is a very difficult person to know and to be around because he has trouble feeling connected to other people, and that is so real. And then, am I late to the party? Darkness, DG Bladee, turn up. He doesn't keep up with trends, and this is another theme in the song Trendy. To them, trendy means being themselves.
I'm a menace start to finish. He's edgy and quirky. I'm leaving early, start the engine. He just wants to leave ASAP.
He doesn't like people.
She's telling me I got good energy. It might be true. Still, I'm not friendly. He may look like a nice person, but he's evil inside.
And he's basically telling us that this evil part of Bladee is always gonna be part of him, and now he's like representing it in this album.
They're telling me I'm a celebrity. I'm a civilian. Let go of me. He's just a regular person.
And he finds comfort in saying that he's just like anyone else, and obviously he has said this in many songs, as I have mentioned.
I always believe the ones that doubt me the most. So, Bladee listened to the hate. It got to him, but it didn't at the same time. Heard the words, but you're not feeling me. They're not really listening to him, to what he's saying. I'm in London, what you telling me? UK slang.
And then he says, I'm the best dressed for Halloween. Could be a reference to the song Who Goes There. He says every Friday is Halloween, and also he feels content wearing a costume because he can be another character. I'm the OG, y'all just parody all these SoundCloud rappers scared of me. He is the founding father
Of the SoundCloud wappers.
I spent so many nights trying to get it right, trying to make it out, stuck in my fucking mind, stuck in his negative thoughts. I said so many rhymes, oh so many times. 10 years later, I still don't know what it means. So he doesn't follow his own advice, And also, this could be a joke to his fans saying that Blade's lyrics are like random and don't make any sense, which is not true. And then he says, in a dark hole with no lights, reference to Blade's song Doorman, where he is in a dark tunnel but I see a light. And now he doesn't see a light anymore, meaning that he doesn't see a way to get out of this current dark mindset. Trying to make something that counts, trying to make something I like, he makes music that he personally aligns to. If everything you ever did hit mid, how could you give a shit? I'm trying to have fun with this shit. Blade is commenting on the fact that no matter what he releases, many are going to hate on it, so he ignores the hate and still drops what he likes. So basically, he's making music for himself rather than his fans. It says nothing to me about my life, another reference to the song Panic by the Smiths. Your songs say a lot of things, but nothing that means anything.
Mainstream artist diss.
Drake this. A little story about me and what I like, just have fun and just try anything. Blade just makes music that he enjoys, he doesn't take it too seriously, and he has fun in the meantime. And he says, I killed myself so many times, so the process of being reborn and reinventing yourself, again, loss and gain is another theme here.
Yup. So he's only low partly. So this song was produced by young Sherman and Wosum and features dark and depressing production. And Blade is talking about his mental health problems and how he's struggling to recover and he's feeling stuck.
Also, this is an interlude, so to me it seems that Blade is taking a break from positivity, from trying to grow, and he's indulging in his depression. And for many people who are depressed, feeling this badly is almost addictive, and they're so used to feeling these feelings of sadness and depression that they're almost addicted to them.
They enjoy the pain. Just how
not
people,
necessarily, but
well, you can be addicted to pain.
yeah.
They're
So this
addicted
could
to
be
pain.
what Blade is trying to tell us.
I send a message to my
Next, moving on to Message to Myself. This was produced by Sherman, Wosum, and James Ferraro.
And opposed to his previous song, the interlude, now he's trying to talk to himself and bring himself up. He says, I send a message to myself, man, you stupid bitch, get well. He's starting off by degrading himself and struggling with his negative thoughts. Get the fuck up out of hell, can't get stuck up in that cell. Don't be weak, don't be so frail, stop expecting us to fail, man, don't let this shit derail. He is reminding himself to be strong and to persevere through his depression, and he's comparing his mental state like a prison that he wants to badly escape from. As life goes on, man, you look back to the times when you meet the real ones. The only thing that changes is how much money we make. So that was Tyboy's part. They're still the same people, no matter how much fame they have received, and DG just keeps it real. Drinking CEO, man, it's blood, sweat, and tears. The star's the limit, we got no limit. This is a classic Tyboy commentary. They're putting all their effort into this, and they're truly passionate for the music that they make.
Man, the baddest hand I'm dealt. Bad luck. He's saying that he has bad luck in life. And it's also a reference to OL. OL, play the cards that I'm given. Saddest story, I can't tell. He feels as if he doesn't have anyone to talk to. And could also be a reference to Waster as well as Pearl Fountain. But Gloria Excel, but Destiny Fulfilled. Gloria in Excelsis Deo, Latin for glory to God in the highest. This is a throwback to 5-star crest, and the use of suggests that he's hesitant, showing that he's not fully turned to God just yet, and he's questioning his presence. And yeah, that's
Terrible excellence, got the serpents in my section.
Okay, moving on to the song Terrible Excellence, which is, I think, my top 3 fave from this album.
Ignore the AC, but produced by White Armor, Filthy, 100 Yard, and Gabriel Schumann. Terrible Excellence, that's an oxymoron, which insinuates Blade's life is an oxymoron. It could also represent a Pyrrhic victory, where Blade seems to be winning, but he still struggles with mental problems. Divine intervention, waiting for my resurrection. Gods or divine beings can intervene in human lives to provide guidance, protection, or assistance during times of need or crisis. Blade is waiting for his divine being to bring him back to life. Tyboy reference. Stood in this position, standing tall in this position. He's been in the position that he's been in right now before, so he's confident with experience. Evil star in the sky, a gliss, gliss, gliss. He has a bad feeling in his gut. Jason Bourne, make a hit, I gotta carry out the mission and do the killing. Bladee is comparing himself to the character Jason Bourne.
And then he says, I want to kill everything and be nothing. I want to kill everything just like Chucky. He wants to exist in complete quiet. He wants to kill the things that are keeping him awake. And also, Chucky killed people.
I'm out hunting. The knife needs to find something. I'm blood hungry. Want blood on me, blood money. He has intrusive thoughts of killing and death. But don't worry, he's clean. I'm clean. But my clothes dirty.
He's physically dirty, but inside he's clean. Might be referring to him not using drugs anymore.
Bad.
But his clothes are dirty due to his hard work.
Alright, bad feelings. I'm hooked on the bad feeling. I miss dreaming. I'm late for a missed meeting. Drugs can reduce the amount of time spent sleeping. So Bladee hasn't slept in a while due to drugs.
And then he says, I am mistreating. The cycle is repeating. So now he brings up that he is actually using drugs and he's in the cycle of stopping them and then continuing using them again. And then Lean's verse, pretty violence, which is another oxymoron, finding beauty in something inherently ugly or harmful. In the silence, it's a dark story. Although being alone in the dark can be perceived as creepy, Lean enjoys it. And also he finds solitude and comfort in isolation. I don't even put the pressure, yeah, they do it for me. He does whatever he wants and he doesn't make music for other people. Enjoy the moments from the nightmares, another high score. So Lean views himself completing life's challenges and it's like a video game. With a boring blood touring, desensitized to the struggles as he has been through a lot. Through the pressure we are formed, referencing to how diamonds are made. Not an angel without horns, there's no roses without thorns, which again could mean loss and gain. There's two sides to everything and it's not what are on the outside only and how you perceive it. I'll die for mine, I'll bleed for yours, so loyalty to Drain Gang. And then Blade's part, listen when I'm spitting, it's a paramount depiction. Blade's lyrics have significant meaning, even though some people consider them to be like jokes or not
Surface
taken
level.
seriously, yeah, like random things. Skip the intermission, close the curtains, keep the distance. Bladee is suggesting that the audience should move on, saying that the fans should move on from this Bladee sound. In the race, we winning, creeping late, don't raise suspicions. And basically, Drain Gang wins by working 24/7.
Including the night.
Rainbow VVS Prism is him trying to flex his expensive jewelry. Put my heart in every word, you hear the pain come out, he's writing truthfully. Serpents in the section make you wanna run. Young Lean references the backstabbers, just like Bladee did in the beginning of the song. And then lastly, Young Lean says, I don't want to write another sad song, but there's so much to come. Life has thrown him a lot of obstacles, and he wants to express how he feels. Making music is an outlet for him, so there's more songs to come.
And it's also a sad boy reference because that's his group. And yeah.
Okay, so we moved to a different location because the AC was too loud.
Yep, and I was running out of battery.
The next
Right.
song is Red Cross.
So the song was produced by Mecha Talk, Filthy, 100 Yard, and Gabriel Schumann.
Okay, so starting off, Bladee says, stop all the talking, can't you see I'm in the night often? He likes to be left alone in the dark. Also, he doesn't want to get caught when he lurks in the night, which is a reference to the song Missing Person. He says, I can't be seen, it's disturbing, and he talks about his lurking activities.
Like the summer freezing, his cold personality has the ability to freeze summers. He's hooked on a feeling. He likes the feeling of drugs. Creeping late after 8. He likes creeping in the night. 9 all the time. D9. He loves the number 9. Black Crow Fly could be a Black Cray reference. Smoke and Drain, So High. College Boy reference. Red Cross could be a Crest reference, but Red Cross represents a global humanitarian movement dedicated to alleviating human suffering, protecting human dignity, and promoting peace and safety, particularly in times of conflict or disaster.
And then he says, we're 360 on the clock, which means working 24/7, and basically saying that drinking is hard workers and they're deserving for all the opportunities that they receive. There's no windows in the spot, there's no innocence in us. We're the realest in a sense, I don't want friends. Tinted windows on the Benz, we're with wizards in it. They don't want to hide who they are, even the evil and dark sides of them. Treat this talking like a well, throw your wishes in it. He is talking as a form of expression and manifestation. Instead of coins, he's talking, and the wishes are the opportunities that he receives in life. And then 3 stars, 3, yeah, moving militant. Blade, Echo, and Tyboy are the 3. Red Cross, red, we on that hill again. Basically saying that they're victorious. We at the top floor of the Hilton with little to no feelings. They're drugged out of their minds, but also celebrating in a luxury hotel. Hoodie on, I'm a civilian. Oakley's on like a Brazilian. Another theme of Blade saying that he is just like anyone else, and he is in incognito. And Oakley's is a reference again because from the song Unreal, he says sunglasses from Oakley. No gravity in the building, we all up in the ceiling, meaning how high they are from all the weed that they smoked. Chandelier on my wrists, it's evident we mean business. Expensive watches to symbolize their wealth and success. In the mall swiping cards, he's a mall whore. And Crocodile Dundee, Blade states that he wears alligator skin just as Crocodile Dundee does. I'm having superiority, get all your sin away from me. He recognizes his success and feels good about himself. I've had enough of this shit boring me, enough of everyone's shit and fakeness. It's time for another story, so now it's his turn to shine. Backpack on like I'm Dora, he explores where his success will take him for his future. I started moving major, I'm in immediate danger. He is a threat to the people in the music industry because of his unique style and also because people do take inspo from him. So cold, our reality is blueberry flavored. You want to talk about that?
Blade is referring to his lyrics from the track Topman off the Blueberries Like It's Halloween. Blueberries could refer to alprazolam pills, namely Xalol. I don't know. Serbian product compared to Xanax, commonly called blueberries due to the blue color. Shout out Genius. 9 p.m. in the morning, he wakes up late.
And also his days and nights are different from other people because he is doing his own thing. It's almost as if his days and nights are reversed.
Moving on to Lucky Luke, this song was produced by Wosum, Young Sherman, Gabriel Schumann, and James Ferrero. And it starts off with, I used to be Luke with the Force, which is a Star Wars reference. That boy don't live here anymore. That boy was never into sports. Blade is not the athletic type. I carried the Olympic torch as he is the leader of DG. Please don't get too close. You might get scorched. Using the torch from the line before to warn his apps. White Havanas and some shorts. He's humble. And also, he's using Miami drip. They think I'm stealing in the store because they think he's white trash. I'm winning Dirty Boy awards. He's a dirty boy. All white, it's Snow White, 7 Dwarfs, cocaine. Lucky Luke came out winning wars. Lucky Luke is about a cowboy who's so fast at drawing his gun, he can shoot his own shadow. And that's what Blade is referring to. Did this 10 years, how many more? He's been in the rap game for over 10 years. When I retire, burn the corpse, he's done. And he doesn't want to be remembered by the rapping sound. Am I the freshest? Yes, of course. That's a cap. I call cap on that Blade, because Highboy is fresher. Life has changed through any storm. Don't give up. The money never made me happy, but it never made him sad. The money made him mid.
No, Karl Marx fan.
This shit has never made a difference, but shit, I carry the flag. The flag is raised. Reference. I had to kill a couple millions in their face. It made me laugh. He is flexing and finessing.
Okay, and then in Tyboy's part, he said, I had to kill a couple mil just to kick back here and chill. He is talking about the sacrifices he made in life. Young Tyboy, I don't read no book. I pull up the bank and go to the moon. His life is too interesting to read books, and he's basically telling us that he has more important things to do. So no need to roll the dice anymore. There's no need for him to play by luck since he makes his own fate. I feel like Montana, I'm shipping the bag. Tony Montana, Scarface reference. I feel like Jeff Bezos when I'm in the bank. Once again, shouts out the small influencer, Jeff Bezos, which is a reference from his song I'm Fresh. Okay, and then Young Lean's verse. We from the snow where it's all forming, all that extra shit's not for me. Talking about his upbringing from Sweden. If you love me, be there for me. It's the purest form of glory. He is saying his unconditional love is the best. I was stuck in the purgatory 7 years like Thai Boy story. Got to wait and through it all, now we all in the booth. Good, gone, record me, champion story. Lean has discussed his mental health struggles frequently in the past. He had a full-length documentary, 2 interviews with various outlets, and many references in his music. And he is also very open to this topic.
So you're saying that he was stuck in purgatory like Thai Boy because he was in rehab, ODs, he was suffering, and Thai Boy, he wasn't allowed in Sweden for 7+ years. And yeah, they were both going through it. They were both struggling. And now that they're together, they're in the studio with Young Good.
And he also
recording
said,
songs.
got to wait and through it all. He's telling us to have patience and wait through it. And the last few lines are, we the biggest and the baddest, we the raddest, we've been had it. Ask around, man, we've been at it. Ash on the floors in the palace, I'll draw faster than my shadow. So they're flexing. And it ties back to the title of the song where Lucky Luke is able to shoot his shadow due to his quick draw.
Yep.
So,
Next song is River Flows In You, produced by Filthy, Lucian, Mochilla, and James Ferraro.
okay, so he's saying, I'm operating under panic and I'm trying to master plan it. Blade is living life under stress and anxiety. I lost everything. I'm trying to be glad I had it. He is trying to find the positive even in a negative situation. And this means that everything happens for a reason. He has that mentality. And then he says, but I'm gonna be stuck in glory like rush hour traffic. He knows that all of his hard work will pay off in the end. Burning out rapid like matches, working so much that he is burned out. Each piece of clothing matches, working hard but being able to afford drip. In a purple colored mansion.
Could be a reference to Riff Raff's mansion, because it's purple inside, and Blade has also collabed with him in the song Spirit of Thunder. And a Phantom trying to catch the dragon. It's a variation on the phrase chasing the dragon, which means to smoke drugs on tinfoil, usually heroin. I'm the king of nothing matters. King Nothing, hotel breakfast reference, meaning that he's not superior and he doesn't care. In this castle that's abandoned, Blade finds content in places that are empty and abandoned, like drains which are constantly being referenced.
And then he says, my body rotten, it's the price of being modern. He is rotten from capitalism in reference to modernity and staying up to date. One day gone but not forgotten, they have made a huge impact in music, and even if they stop making music, people will still take inspo from them. One day when I'm just a body, they will act like we were buddies. Usually when artists die, they become more popular and famous, and people pretend that they knew them from the start, and this is what Blade is referring to. Suffering more in imagination, he can't even escape to his imagination anymore since it has been polluted by negativity and darkness.
The boy that sends the bottles, I'm controlling all the markets. Blade is a trendsetter and acknowledges that his individuality is powerful in many markets. And do you think of me, I wonder? Reference to the song Scarecrows. I'm the one-hit wonder. One-hit wonder as Be Nice to Me is his most popular song. And it's the one that most people know. Light awaits outside this tunnel towards light through this tunnel. He's stuck in this darkness, but he can see the exit. Suffering more in imagination. This could mean that he's trying to get out of his head and he realizes how powerful he is in regards to talent and self-identity. And basically it's all in his head. He has paranoia. That's a common theme throughout the album. Basically he self-sabotages himself and he thinks that he's not able to accomplish as much as he's actually able to. So the next song is King Nothing, which features producers Filthy, Rock, Warren Hunter, Warp Star, and James Ferraro.
Also, King Nothing first appears in Hotel Breakfast from The Fool. Okay, so Bladee starts off by saying, moving around monthly, I'm jet lagged in every country. He's telling us how he does a lot of concerts and he's getting money.
He travels a lot.
And he's constantly seeking an adventure. I've been searching, I've been looking around for something. He's trying to find meaning, but I'm coming up with nothing, which is a reflection of nihilism. Dirty Boys, They Love It on the track, I'm trauma dumping. He is rapping emotionally charged and he is attracting an edgy emotional fan base. That's what you wrote.
Yep.
And I said that Evil Bladee is back and people like the depressing lyrics as they can relate to them. I've been going back to cussing. So in Hotel Breakfast he says, I'm a good boy on this track, no cussing. This is an official announcement that Evil Bladee is back and he does not hold back anymore. He has nothing to lose. Mentally in hell, I'm doing well, I've been adjusting. He is telling us that whatever life throws at him, he finds a way to adjust and conforms instead of complaining. I've been enforcing the policy, no touching. Blade's famous no touching policy dates all the way back to the 2016 Ever Since opener, Who Goes There, where he eloquently proclaimed, no touching, I find it disgusting.
There have been many allegations that Bladee has autism, and typically found in autistic people, they don't like physical contact.
Winter's coming, blood is rushing. He has cold or frozen emotions. Hail King Nothing, which is again another reference to Hotel Breakfast, where he says, I am King Nothing, I am nothing. He is saying that he is not superior, and Bladee loves using oxymorons in his lyrics, and this is one as King conveys superiority, and then he says nothing after it. Hailstorm's coming, rare form junkie. He's basically telling us that he's using drugs again. And then he says, chainsaw star, so much hate, you gotta love it. He's used to the hate. So much rot, you gotta cut it. Standing solid at the summit. He's not letting the rot spread. And he's cutting it and moving on.
Yep.
And when he's standing solid at the summit, he found this place and he's winning. Because he's standing tall.
Stop that talking like you know me. We are not friends. Just send the money. Bladee is picky about who he works with, and he likes to have a small community of friends.
He says, we remain the same. It's funny. I'm the one. You know that, dummy. He recognizes that he is different than the rest in the business by saying, I'm the one. Mr. Paid make away US dollars from God's country. He's referring to how his supporters are mostly from America because he says God bless the USA in parentheses. Felt so scummy, drinking, keep the faucet running. He wants to clean himself from his regrets. And also in 2019, we will include a picture of this. He tweeted, feeling scammy, smiley face. No, so runny, I'm cold, visions having buddy. Bladee is sick from the coldness, physically and metaphorically. Under stress, don't panic on me. Bladee can work under stress, but he can't manage other people's stress around him. I don't want brand deals, I want hospice patient pills. He doesn't want money, but he wants drugs. I want Halo kind of shields. I want you to know how I feel. A reference to Halo, and he wants to bounce back. We enforce God's will on a mission to fulfill. Bladee believes in God and is on a mission in terms of his religious endeavors. Big Red Cross, which is referring to the song Red Cross, and it's a Christian symbol for trust. Up on that hill, demons massacred and killed. Bladee feels secure in believing in God as he is protected from the devil. And that's all we have for King Nothing.
Moving on to the next song,
Bad for Business,
which is produced by Lucy and Simon on the Moon.
Okay, so he says, everyone's against me. People cannot handle Blade's talent, and Bladee often faces hate as people are not used to his sound and don't give in the time to listen to him. Then he says, I shoot till it's empty. Bladee tries his best in whatever he is working on and until he is out of energy. Have I made it impossible? I don't know. Because he puts his all, he set the bar high and might have made it impossible for others to compete. If I don't make it back, just know, this can allude back to Ice Dancer, as he mentions that if he, in 2018, if I don't get seen, I'm gonna drink some bleach in the song Top Men. Disaster rose over us. He's saying that he got overworked and burned out, which has negative effects in the long run and is essentially bad for business. It's bad for us, it's bad for business. His music is bad for business as he has cultivated a niche fan base that does not follow popular sounds. And he says, don't go, can't let this go on. Bladee is saying that he needs a break. maybe referencing why he didn't drop an album in over a year and stopped touring for a while. In verse 2, he says, "Hopelessness forming like a dark cloud over my tiny world. He is giving everything he could to the point where he has nothing left and feels hopeless, which is causing him stress. Every tiny little worry is so large in this small little world. When you're famous like Bladee, your little worries have a lot more meaning and effect to your work, and they're also magnified and are under the spotlight as there are so many fans watching you." And lastly, he says, "And death is in the sunset."
That death is when the day is over. So in a sense, it can mean that each day is a fresh start, which also can go back to loss and gain, evolution. And that's going to be it for this song. So the next song is Other Side featuring Black Cray and production from Filthy and Lucrative, who both worked on Stop Breathing for Playboi Carti. It starts off with hash from Norway, twice the price. Weed there is more expensive. And Dirty Life, Baptized in Dirt. Basically, Bladee feels impure with his drug usage. In My Soul, A Growing Hole. He basically feels empty. Panic, that became the norm. It just occurs to him so much that it became normal for him. Out of Fear, A Child is Born. This could mean that, like diamonds in a rough, like through immense pressure and perseverance, a new person emerged, only calm once in the storm, used to the craziness and works under the pressure. And of course, in the center of the storm is the calm. Faith in stars I can't afford. Opportunities people get due to nepotism and access to a lot of money. Yet I'm weaker than before. Bladee has been mentally and physically exhausted from putting out so many emotions and vulnerability in his songs. Learned some more and lost some more. Loss again. Existentialism, but I know less than before. Too much fame makes him forget who he is. Burn some sage just in case to get rid of any negative energy. Toxic waste to the face. Drugs. College boy reference. We in V6s. Engine. No plates, so just cars, and we're burning through the terrain. Fuck what it is. Does it hit? He doesn't care what he's smoking unless he gets high. I got so rich off the spit. He got rich off of his rapping. I post a pic, now you're pissed. People hate on Bladee always. I'll pay your rent for the year. Take care of you when you're sick. I'll throw myself in a ditch. I'll hurt myself if you wish. He's willing to do anything for the ones he loves.
Also, I think that he doesn't go as low as the people around him go, being the bigger person in the scenario.
And then Crawling in the Sewer. That's Decay reference. Dark tinted windows on the whip. Let's ride reference. Alligator shoes. Everything reptile. Shoe shopping. This could be a reference to the shoe shopping he did with Black Cray. Picture right here. I can talk about the night, it's mine. He lurks in the night, like always. Likes the night because it's more quiet with less people. Hoodie on, sunglasses, dress shoes tied. He's incognito. Seen so many friends that strayed from the light. He and his boys love working in the night when there's less people. They love being by themselves. But shit, he's still doing lines. Cocaine.
And then the bridge is Bladee saying, "It's bad even on a paradise island. I'm in hell in my mind even if I'm smiling. Just know that I'm fighting. I'm sick, yeah I know. Just keep it on the low." Bladee explains that despite physically being in appealing environments, which is the paradise island, internally he is still struggling with mental anguish, managing to play it off by smiling. He then states that he knows he's struggling but opts to keep it hidden from others, not wanting to appear as he feels.
Genius. Thugging in the field by my lone. He's by himself. Short Lonely reference. Haha, and I'm kidding. I'm with the gang throwing up fours, yelling shalom. I think he might be an Israelite as he makes many references to Hebrew and Israeli references. Bladee, start to sing like some crows. That's his signature. Pop out with my gang through the trees like some creatures. A reference to one of his songs, Reaching. KTS the scene, leave him bloody, but we ain't gonna bleach it. KTS is a Chicago rapper that got shot 64 times. Basically, he's saying that he's going to get violent. He's going to kill everyone. He's just going to leave it there. Not going to clean it up. And, yeah, bloody like some leeches. Crowed up, stop the scene. Then we get to beeping. Then we get to geeking.
Yeah, this is basically Bladee and Black Cray accepting their dark side.
And their chemistry is amazing.
Okay, so the next song is Normal,
Produced
which is
by
something that we both are.
Lucy.
Fueled by hate, I'm fucking fueled. The more hate Bladee receives, the more it empowers him to prove them wrong. And then he says, in the club dressed formal, he is showing success to the haters through his attire. Don't get confused by this feeling that you're feeling when you see me. He's talking about how people feel jealousy when they see him. Don't get scared when you're coming up to see me. Bladee doesn't want people intimidated by him because he says that he is just like everyone else. I am the law because I'm always putting pennies on the treaty. To be the law, you break the law, which is something that Bladee said in the song Blue Crush Angel in Spider. He is saying that in order to be seen by the public, you actually have to do something and not be scared. Not even the law holds Bladee back. I'm on a quest and I've come to kill the evil. Bladee is talking about his relationship with religion. He is taking matters in his own hands and is not expecting anything from anyone. He is the one who will save himself and maybe even others. We are the best in this field. Put the flag up on the hill. The flag is Ray's reference, which is portraying their achievements. We finesse with a skill like you can't believe it's real. Bladee is talking about his uniqueness that cannot be replicated. Exorcism the will on a mission to fulfill. He is committed to taking out the evil within him. And he says, fueled by hate, which is his motivation. It drives me to a place beyond reason where it's freezing. Bladee does not take into account the conditions. The only thing that matters is fulfilling the goal he has in mind. So even when it's freezing outside, he's still gonna go out and achieve what he has in mind. And lastly, he says, it drives me to a place where I'm struggling for a meaning. Blade's lyrics often have themes of nihilism. He is saying that life has no inherent meaning. He is just living, whether it's good or bad, which could portray loss and gain once again. Okay, so the next song is Flexing and Finessing, which was my favorite on this album.
Produced by Filthy, Lucrative, Gabriel Schumann.
Okay, let me tell you a little story about this guy that's not important.
AKA him.
Yeah, Bladee is talking about himself and how he doesn't think that he is important in the sense of superiority. He is just like everyone else. Let me tell you about these crazy clothes he's sporting. He's spending money on clothes to show off his strip and also his success. Excel in everything. I ain't talking about an Excel sheet. Second reference to the song 5-Star Crest.
Excelsior, we excel everything and everything. It's a quote. The vibes are bad every time that we meet. Bladee loves bad vibes.
Like the song.
I cut my hand like Jesus did. I bleed, I bleed, I bleed.
That's my favorite line.
Crucifixion, I mean. Jesus got put on a cross with wooden spikes through his hand, bleeding a lot. I still remember the first time I realized that nothing's fun. There's bad in everything, just how there can be good in everything again. Loss and gain is the same. How could these cowards take my kindness for a weakness? This line could suggest that people take advantage of him, and of course, him being from Sweden, everyone from Sweden, good stereotype. They're usually nice, and Bladee is a good kid, good unk, and yeah, they're taking his kindness for weakness. And back to flexing and finessing, covering up his stress and pain with clothes, retail therapy, hanging out with peasants, NPCs, getting depressing. I'm repping crest. Crest were symbols of medieval royal families in contrast with peasants, as he mentioned in the previous.
Also, he wants to hang out with DG only because everyone else is boring, aka the NPCs.
And then I know I'm falling off, but shit, I can't let go. Topman reference, and it's falling off in terms of mainstream success.
Then he says, between the lines, no, I'm just kidding, saying that there's meaning to everything, but gives up finding the meaning and just lives life. There's something cold about my vision, just talking about cold vision. My fortune paints an ugly picture, talking about his bad luck. If I should trust my intuition, he has self-doubt. To catch my drift, I'm going fishing. He's fishing for ideas in search for something new. On my way back from going missing.
Missing person.
Yeah, this is a reference to the song Missing Person, but now he is back from going missing, so that means that he has found himself. But I am lacking the ambition because he's getting older. I'm speaking code, so baby listen. Bladee has his own style of lyricism, and many think that his lyrics are stupid, but they're only looking at the surface. Blade's lyrics have deep meaning, and this is why we're analyzing them. And then he said, this damn depression is my prison, which reminds me of the book The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. If you read it, you know what I mean. Your threat towards us is non-existent. People's opinions do not matter to Blade. I give you everything, just listen. Blade wants to be heard, and he's giving us his thoughts, his feelings into his songs, and he wants us to actually listen and not always joke around. Bust down the cross, but I'm not Christian. Interpolated from 2021's D9 is Up song from The Fool, where he says, I'm not Christian, but I'm busting down the cross. If you get hit, then you get hit then. Basically saying that it is what it is. He says, I'm being rude like a Parisian because people from Paris are known to be rude. I keep it true like I got autism because of the stereotype that autistic people usually don't have filters. I'm in the sewer on a mission. I'm in the song Decay. Blade says in the sewer all alone, saying that mindlessly spending time alone, but this time he is in the sewers with a goal.
Yep.
Something was true in my suspicions. He's trusting his intuition, and it actually came up to be true. I'm fresh to death. I'm dressing different. He has a distinct personal style and not like everyone else. And I am literally Blade. I'm truly sculpted in his image. Blade feels like he is on God's side and feels holy. Your hidden talents, keep it hidden. Don't want to see you be a victim. He is giving people who want to follow Blade's footsteps a warning and saying how it's emotionally draining work to be in the music industry. The blade is spinning like a blender. It's not really a deep lyric, but the blender has blades and his name is Blade. Stop stealing my agenda. He is sick of people copying him, and Blade wants to see people being original. I'm pushing drinking propaganda, and I just said me too. High in the hills like I'm a Jennifer Beverly. Blade is high from drugs. Beverly Hills is a song from Blade, so he could also be referencing that. I'm him, do you assume my gender? Basically saying that he's
God.
I'm HD clean, you need to render. Blade is beautiful, no photoshopping necessary. The accountant told me stop the spending. I'm spending like the world is ending. He is a shopaholic and is trying to fill a void. And let me tell you about this shit I've been importing. Talking about weed. Let me tell you about this ice that I've been sporting and cocaine. So that's it.
Yep. I'm him. Did you assume my gender?
Okay, so the next song is PM2. It's pretty short.
Featuring young Sherman and Wosum in production credits.
So let's start from the chorus. Sometimes these death thoughts take my thoughts away from living, and I get where I was and must go back to the start. He needs to remind himself of what he has accomplished in order to feel grateful and connected back to reality, and it's also a way to ground himself. I'm the one they love, they hate me. He receives both love and hate, which could be another lost and gained reference. 30 boys, but our lives expensive. They're spending money on drugs and clothing. Fuck giving these lames percentage.
Talking about year 001 wanting to basically capitalize off of DG and SBE's success, and they wanted to take a percentage off of them.
A high percent.
But Blade denied them.
Yeah.
So he's basically saying F you to them.
My name is my name, they need me. Staying true to himself and being seen as important. Love being on the raindrops on my chain. S9 to 5. D9, which is a D9 to 5 reference, but also referring to sterling silver. D9, which is DG. And talking about his success through being able to make these types of purchases. And lastly, glory to the drain. I don't feel the need to explain. He feels that he has drinking superiority and that drinking is superior.
Oh, something to know in the chorus where he says something you said so long ago stayed with me. It's tricky. Again, noting with Paranoia, he replays awful memories in his head and something that a person told him stuck in his brain and it keeps replaying in his mind, which contributes to his negative thoughts. Also, he mentions in the chorus, soulless, so less than lost. Soulless, so less, double entendre. Being soulless is less than being lost, because being soulless means you have no identity, but being lost means that you can still find yourself. So having no identity is worse than being lost. Soulless, so less. Moving on to False, produced by Lucy. We can start off by sizing 1500 on a tree. That's the reptilian in me. That could mean that many people would refuse to ever pay that much money for a tee, but Bladee is different. So by making this purchase, he's reptilian rather than human, meaning that he's different and that he wouldn't be considered a normal person for doing that. He just sticks out from the rest. Think I depleted all my serotonin, took a lot of E. He basically just took a lot of ecstasy, MDMA, and...
An E reference.
Yeah, well, E is based on his drug abuse and identity.
Then he says, thought I had murdered all my darkness, but it came right back at me. Bladee thought that he was done making music about his evil side, but this album proved this thought false. It seems that Bladee is now acknowledging that his evil side will always be a part of him. Give me what I deserve, cause I am the worst. In the club going hard and I'm staring at the wall. Bladee is feeling guilt and is saying that he deserves all the challenges that he has faced, and he also wants to punish himself in a way. He's in the club where he should be having fun, but he's actually staring at the wall because he refuses to indulge in fun.
I meant to say that I think I depleted all my serotonin, took a lot of E. Due to his constant use of MDMA and ecstasy, he depleted his serotonin.
Looks good from afar, the brutality of war. Up close, you can see more pain, and from far away, something can seem beautiful, and you can almost be jealous of it or that person, but up close, you can see all the bad stuff. Put some salt on my scar. This is a form of self-harm, as he thinks he is deserving of it, and he wants to feel pain. Bring some feathers and some tar. I think tar and feathers on someone is a form of public humiliation back from the old times, and Bladee is saying that he is deserving of that. And then he continues to say, don't know, I don't know, I don't know, don't know. This is his sense of uncertainty and insecurity. Question me, don't question God. Bladee might not be sure about himself, but he finds comfort in his belief in God as he feels supported by his faith. Going broke at the mall, going swipe by swipe my card. Bladee is using, once again, retail therapy to fill a void and to suppress his feelings or to hide them very temporarily, and also a reference to mall whore. We place the crest upon the hill. So this is a crest reference, which is an album by Bladee and Echo 2K, and meaning to rise before falling back down. The crest is placed at the top, so it actually is suppressed from going back down, which could mean that he's only gonna move up from here. Designer things all over me, wipe from your eyes the jealousy. Lastly, Bladee is talking about how his success can be reflected in his expensive clothing, and people can envy that.
When he talks about evil star, he's talking about Yaldabaoth, which is an evil deity that created the physical world, and that's basically the evil star that he references in the song. And yeah, he makes a lot of these religious, philosophical references. And now, moving on to the first outro. I don't know why this has two outros, but Can't End on the Lost, produced by Filthy and Jonah Abraham. Closet filled up with Lacoste, dressed like I work in law. Rolex plain Jane wrapped around my wrist. Materialistic objects, they do not fulfill Bladee. He's seeking for something deeper. Dressed like it's the first day of school. Dressing up for success. All I had was a dream, had to pursue, or else I'd be a fool. The fool reference, chasing his dreams and fulfilling it each day. Let's do it, but we never full. He's never satiated.
And the more he achieves, the higher the bar will rise. And I feel like that's something that I can relate to as well. Grew up in a middle-class environment, you wilding. He did not grow up rich, and he earned everything he got, which is contrary to what a lot of people believe. I was bored as a kid, I had to think, so he used his creativity to ease his boredom.
He turned the boredom into creativity.
Even when I was being good, I think of violence and fires. He is referring to evil Bladee, and it will always be a part of him. The difference now is that he is embracing it.
Christian Louboutin with the spikes. Man, who's rocking Nikes? Yeah, he's just flexing. That's all it is.
And maybe a new era for Bladee.
Fresh with the Adidas on 3 stripes. 333 is his number. Yeah, the 3 is aight.
And it's a holy number that Bladee references a lot, and it's part of his religious beliefs. And he says, I remember being like 18, I was thinking I was so fucked up, remember like it was yesterday. Bladee is now 30 and reflecting on his life. He has been through a lot more challenging things than when he was 18. Every time I check the comments, I'm thinking like, do they even deserve me? He has some fucked up fans who do not take him seriously. While Bladee likes to crack jokes, he wants to be heard and make art that holds an impact and people actually acknowledging that impact and meaning that he's trying to convey. I'm like you, I'm living and I'm learning. Again, he is saying that he's just like everyone else and he wants to be respected and taken seriously. Then lastly, in the outro, he says, "It is what it is. It'll be the last time that I spit. Tell me what it is if this not it." Bladee is giving us another chance, but he wants to be heard and respected, so let's not let him down.
And he's basically announcing his retirement from rapping. Moving on to other genres.
And then he says thank you for everything. He's appreciating and showing support to his fans.
And he can't end on a loss. He knew that this album would be successful amongst his fans, so he's thankful for all of the support, and he can't end on a loss when he knows that this album will be a hit.
Yeah, and he knows that this evil Bladee style is something that a lot of drainers were craving that he would bring back. And also staying true to himself through his lyrics.
Moving on to the outro, produced by Armor and Young Sherman featuring Echo, but he doesn't really say much in this song. It's more just background vocals, but...
Yeah. And then he says, "I've always felt a few steps outside of myself." Bladee sets the bar too high for himself, and when he doesn't fulfill an unattainable goal, he feels disappointed. Carrying something that's too heavy to bear is putting too much pressure onto himself. Is it out of fear? Is it out of fear of him failing? Cold winter flowers under the snow, is it still living? Being buried under snow and the cold, Bladee is personifying the flowers in a way to express that he relates to them. He is buried under the coldness of his negative thoughts, distress, depression, and anxiety. Flowers are inherently beautiful, but they can still be buried in the snow, just how Bladee feels that all of this darkness is hindering his talent and success. Spring comes, they'll grow. So this is a change of season, which is another chance that the flowers get and also Bladee himself gets. Feathers in the wind sinks like a stone. Feathers are light, but this darkness is making them heavy. Two sides of the same coin. Two sides to every story, you have to consider both. Some people see the top side only and see only the outside of Bladee and not what is under or
what is underneath,
inside of him.
And then I'm asking for suffering, doing this to himself. He's doing whatever it takes to achieve his goals, but acknowledging the pain that comes with it. And then moving on to the outro.
Bladee posted on his story a picture of a rainy pavement and there are yellow leaves on the floor, so we'll insert that image.
"I want something, say something, just tell me something, anything. I know I said I'd do anything," referencing to the song Anything. And "Won't you let the love in?" He wants to only love and get rid of the evil.
And then he ends it with saying, "God is love, is my love." He ended the album talking about God, and this is a reference to the interview that he did, which we will include. And also in the song God, he said that God is love, is my drug. Now, instead of drugs, it's simply love. So this is the last song, and now we'll move on to our final thoughts. Now, moving on to our overall thoughts, we observed that Bladee brought back his evil style that was seen in Working on Dying album, and it sounded like he will continue to be the way he is, but in this album he is reflecting on his past evil actions, and as a way to acknowledge them and recognize them, ultimately throw them out. And this provides Bladee the closure that he needed.
Some of the common themes include trash, rain, death, rejuvenation, God, drain, worthlessness, depression, and life.
But basically, the entire album is a reference to loss and gain and how no one can be perfect in life. Even with self-improvement, there will always be something pulling you back, and this is kind of the absurdity of life, and Bladee acknowledges that. And yeah.
Yep. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe.
Thank you for watching, and also big thank you to my brother for helping me out for this.
Yep.
Bye.